It's the first leg of what will be a long journey. 75 kilometers with all the elements of a wide open prairie and just the gear on your back. It takes a particular mindset to get you on the road.
It's an interesting experience because you've got to be keyed up, really focused, positive, excited, the same way you would be if you were running or riding a really short event. But you also need to be really patient because you're going to be out there all day.
Ultramarathoners or ultra-endurance athletes represent the latest trend in self-propelled long-distance racing. Races and group training days like this one are on the rise across the continent. And while it may be different spokes for different folks, and for some no spokes at all, they all have a few important things in common.
Interested in that personal challenge and interested in going a different place, doing something out of the ordinary and pushing themselves.
And there are collective challenges out here in the snow, such as thermal management for the changing temperatures and wind chills throughout the day, and regardless of the preparation, it's just plain cold.
Trying to find food that doesn't freeze hard as a rock. There are things like energy bars and stuff that are great in the summer, but I mean, it would be like trying to chew on a brick at this time of year.
Then there's the psychological element.
If things don't go right in the first hour, or it's taking a little while to kind of settle into a rhythm, you gotta kind of stay cool, stay relaxed, stay focused, and be prepared to enjoy a long day out on the trail.
It's ultra impressive to see these racers out here on a day like today when it is minus 26 degrees Celsius, but they train all year round with other cyclists, runners, even paddlers, all under a new organization called Operación Muerto, which stands for Manitoba Ultra Endurance Racing and Talking Organization. It's a big name for some big distances.
Pretty much the standard is 50 kilometers, kind of that's a sort of the first one, and then it's 50 mile, 100 mile, and then races like this, which end up being in the middle, like 130K.
The next race on the agenda is Active Epica, a 130-kilometer race that passes through 5 different communities around Winnipeg. When Dwayne ran the first race in 2012, there were 32 participants in all. This year, they expect that number for runners alone, and he's happy for the company.
I know I'm not the only one that's a little bit loose in the head, screws loose and to do this sort of thing. It isn't as odd as we think. It's a growing sport.
KKC all the way up!
At the 30-kilometer mark, these racers have added a layer of frost to their gear.
I'd rather be walking than pushing those bikes.
Oh, yeah.
A bike doesn't always make the distance easier, but these racers won't lose stride.
It's a lot of fun, and it gets you out there doing something that you wouldn't ordinarily do. And why do we do it in the winter? Well, we've got a pretty fantastic winter here, lots of sun like today, and there's no sense being cooped up inside, so you've got to get out there and do something.
For Go Winnipeg, I'm Kim Kasher.
I don't know, do you actually go to the end of the road or?